Kujantam Ramarameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavitashakam Mande Valmiki Kokilam Valmikir Munisimhasya Kavita Vanacharinaha Shrinvan Ramakathanatam Konayadi Param Gatim. These verses, as said earlier, describe the great contribution of sage Valmiki towards our great Sanatana Dharma. The way in which he has intertwined the nectar-like words in Ramayana is matchless, and Ramayana can find no match in this world, for it is a treasure house of important morals and values. What we have observed in our last episode was Rishyashringa, the grandson of sage Kashyap and the son of sage Vibhandak, was invited by King Dasharath to his kingdom called as Ayodhya. In the province of Kosala was the capital called as Ayodhya, and Dasharath invited sage Rishyashringa so that he could perform the Ashwamedha Mahayajna, and the Yajna was performed for a period of 1 year. At the end of it arose a Yajna Purusha from the Yajna, and he gave a beautiful vessel with the payasam, the condensed milk in it, and said, "Hey Dasharath, distribute the payasam amongst your wives." We who have read Ramayana time and again have observed one thing, that these three wives of Dasharath, namely Kaushalya, Kaikeyi and Sumitra, these are the three names that we are frequented with. But if you observe the Moola Ramayanam, the Adikavyam of Valmiki, which is Srimad Ramayan, closely in Ayodhya Kand, which is the second canto, Dasharath is said to have had 350 wives. Isn't that quite surprising? First, the question may come, is there a reference? Yes, it is in Ayodhya Kand, wherein all the 350 except Kaikeyi, that is 349 wives of Dasharath, weep when Ram leaves to the forest with Sita and Lakshman. So there is proof. Now comes the second question. How did he manage the 350 wives? For the first question, where you asked for the source, all that I could say was it is in Ramayana. If you would ask me how he managed the 350 wives, that is one question which I can not answer, except for Dasharath in this world is the only person who can answer. Well, why did he marry those 350 wives is another important question. Interestingly, before Ram was born, there was another Ram. Who was this Ram? He was Parashuram or Bhargav Ram. Parashuram was the son of a great sage called as Jamadagni. Parashuram's mother was a lady of great penance and powers. Her name was Renuka Devi. To Renuka Devi and Jamadagni Rishi was born sage Parashuram, who was also regarded as an Aveshya avatar, an induced incarnation of the Lord, not as a Purna avatar, not as a complete incarnation, but an induced incarnation. Parashuram's father Jamadagni was killed by a Kshatriya king called as Kartyaviryarjun. Since he was killed by Kartyaviryarjun, Parashuram took a vow that he would kill all the Kshatriya kings on this earth, and hence it is said that he is to have killed over 21 generations or races of Kshatriyas. While he was killing, he did make one exception. He said, if the Kshatriya king was celebrating his first anniversary of marriage, then Parashuram said that he would not be killing that Kshatriya king. Dasharath, who was also a Kshatriya, now thought for some time, I should not be killed. So, how do I protect myself? Well, Parashuram himself had given the exception. So, he married every lady and turned her to be his queen every year. And every year Parashuram would come, he would check that Dasharath was celebrating his first year of wedding anniversary, and it seems he did not kill Dasharath. Hence, as a result of it, Dasharath was left with 350 wives. But if there were 350 wives, why are only 3 people concentrated in Srimad RAmAyanam? That's another question we need to answer. The answer is quite simple. Ramayana, by itself being an epic, is huge. Quoting about the 3 wives itself was too much. And if Valmiki would begin quoting all the 347 remaining wives, when would Ramayana begin and when would it end? So, to make things simple, lucid, unambiguous and short, Valmiki concentrated on these 3 wives. Dasharath, who received the payasam or the condensed milk from the sacrifice through the Yajna Purush, the sacrifice deity, distributed amongst his wives. 50% of the payasam was given to Kaushalya. 25% of the payasam was given to Sumitra. 12.5% of the payasam was given to Kaikeyi. The left was 12.5% again. Now, the great administrator, the smart human being, the intellect that Dasharath was, it seems he thought for some time and said, to whom shall I give this nectar-like remaining portion of the payasam, which is 12.5? And he said, I need to give this to the great lady Sumitra, and gave it to her. We just saw this till yesterday, but we didn't see why Dasharath chose Sumitra after all. Because Dasharath is said to have had more liking and inclination towards Kaikeyi. He is to have given it to Kaikeyi, 1, or considering the option that Kaushalya was the first wife, he should have given it to her. Leaving Kaushalya, leaving Kaikeyi, why did he give the remaining 12.5% of the payasam yet again to Sumitra? It seems, though Kaushalya and Kaikeyi were great in their own respects, Kaikeyi would have fought with Dasharath had he given the remaining to Kaushalya yet again. Had it been given to Kaikeyi, Kaushalya would have said, I, as the first wife, have all the rights to seek the husband's property first. Why should it be given to Kaikeyi? But Sumitra was such a non-controversial character in the entire Ramayana that if Dasharath had chosen Sumitra to be given the remaining, Kaikeyi and Kaushalya would have never fought. So, it was given to Sumitra, considering the fact that if it was given to Sumitra, the other two wouldn't fight. Point number 1. And it was called as Payasopamam, that is, the remaining percent of the payasam, which was Payasasyamritopamam, that remaining percent of the payasam, that remaining portion of the payasam, which was like nectar, like amritam, was given to Sumitra. Why it was given to Sumitra was seen. There is another big reason behind this. Dasharath was a very intelligent person. He knew that if payasam was given to Sumitra again, she would be blessed with another child, whereas Kaushalya and Kaikeyi will be left only with 1. Now, it is not the number of children that a mother or a father have to boast about. It is about having few but good. Like how they say, friends should be few but good. What is the use if the set of parents, the mother and the father, have 20 children and all the 20 children are people who have not adhered to the path of dharma? Instead, it is always better to have 1 child. But if given a choice that there should be more children, all the children to the parents should adhere to the path of dharma. Dasharath knew for the very fact that as a mother, Sumitra would raise her children in the right path of dharma, how many ever children she had. Hence, he thought that the remaining percent of the payasam, which was also to guarantee a child, should go to Sumitra. And interestingly, the son who was born of the remaining percent of the payasam was also a person like his very mother Sumitra. Sumitra was a person who always wanted to help people going out of her way. like how she sent her son Lakshman along with Ram to serve him during the exile. Likewise, she wanted to ensure that the child who is born as a result of the last portion of the payasam was a person who would always engage himself in service, and such a person was Shatrughna. Here, Sumitra, who was a lady of great intellect, was bestowed or was given the last portion of the payasam. And she was also chosen for the very fact that the other two wives wouldn't fight. Why did he have to think again? Anuchintya Sumitrayai. Why did he have to think again is another important question. Sumitra would ensure that if she had two children, one son would be going for the service of the Lord and the other child would be engaged in the service of the mankind, that is the devotees of the Lord. Hence, Dasharath chose that the remaining portion should be given to Sumitra herself again. Now getting to the point, how long these queens of, say, King Dasharath were pregnant. It is said that they were pregnant for a period of 12 months. Hence, while they were pregnant for a period of 12 months, were born children. Let's see who were all born. Tatascha dvadashe maase chaitre navamike tithau nakshatre aditi daivatye svocha samstheshu panchasu graheshu karkate lagne vakpatadinduna saha prodhyamane jagannatham sarvaloka namaskritam kausalya janayadramam divyalakshana samyutam. What a beautiful verse. Ramayana is not beautiful only for the story which is intertwined in it, but it is beautiful for the beautiful words that are written in it. Look at these words. Tatascha dvadashe maase. After or at the end of 12 months, Chaitre Navamike tithau, in the month of Chitra, on the tithi of Navami, that is the 9th day, and when the great nakshatra Punarvasu was there, presided over by Aditi Devi, was born this great son to Kaushalya. How was Ram born? Tulsidas describes it in his Ramcharitmanas, wherein he says, Naumi tithi madhu mas punita sukala pachha abhijit hari prita madhya divas ati seet na dhama pavan kal loka bishrama. He was born in the daytime, though it was severe summer the time at which Ram was born. The afternoon on which Ram was born was neither too hot nor too cold. Ati seet na dhama. There was the gentle breeze that was blowing, and on that Navami Tithi, with the nakshatra, the star of Punarvasu, was born this great son who was born to redeem the entire mankind of its sins, was born to move or remove the worries of the great administrator Dasharath, was born to the gentle intellect and a very pious lady called Kaushalya. And this child was born. The next day was Pushya Nakshatra and was born Bharat to Kaikeyi. And the third day was born Lakshman and Shatrughna to Sumitra. Now let's see how these kids were named. Oh my goodness, I have already told their names. That is Ram, Bharat, Lakshman and Shatrughna. While they were born, it was Vasishtha, the family priest, who was engaged in the christening of the children. Why did he choose those names? That's an important question. Let's check why he chose those questions in the next episode. Thank you.